Hi, everybody. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. Oh, I'm so excited to have Kirby on with us today. We'll have a few more people coming in and we're going to get this started. I'm actually working with Kirby myself personally, but we're not here to sell you anything today. We're here to show you an opportunity, and we are here to really talk about marketing and strategy and branding you. So, why don't you guys unmute yourselves? And if you would, let Kirby know exactly where you're from.
Scottsdale, Arizona.
And tell her who you are, because I brag about you.
Oh, Annie. I'm Annie Collins. I'm Jean's sister.
Yes, she does brag about you. Good morning, Scottsdale.
I brag about her all the time. And I want to make Peggy Page co-host unless, can you do that, Kirby?
Let me see if I can.
Kirby, this is Tucker Overstreet from Vacuum Cleaner, Texas.
Hi, Tucker.
No,
Overstreet.
Dallas.
Great to meet you. I was confused because Kirby are vacuum cleaners.
I know. That's why I said
Oh,
it.
that's why you said it. I was like, man, I did get my name already, Tucker. It's 6 a.m. over here, but I'll
Oh,
take
wow.
Okay, so I was able to make Peggy co-host.
Okay, cool.
Cool. So this is exciting. I am in Florida. I am house sitting for Veronica Figueroa. And Peggy Page is here with me as well. And I have to tell you, we are in, if you guys could see this place, it would blow your mind. And one of the coolest features of this home is she's across the street from a lake, is you stand in her main foyer. I don't care if you go back 60 feet, her door is glass and it looks out at the water. That's just one of the many, many features of this, but I can't give out the location. We'll have to kill you. No, just kidding. So, all right, what I'm going to do is I really want to start this over on the recording. So let me just go to this and we'll be getting more people in, I'm sure. Hold on one second, guys. It's really, maybe I can't.
Peggy, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Right. Tell me where to go to let people in. I'm in the host tools.
When they just pop up the top.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
It's going to say admit.
Gotcha. Okay.
And I am, so who is anybody new here for the first time? Okay, request host to start cloud recording. Okay, so we're going to edit up to this part. That's probably going to be the best way to do this. So good morning, everybody. I am so super excited to have as our guest Kirby. And I want to say your last name. Is it Lottman correctly? Because it's funny, we know each other and we always go by first names.
I know.
Kirby and I just recently met at the San Diego, Orange County rally, where her company, Agent Image, was one of the major sponsors there. And you know, when you walk up to someone and you feel their energy and you know you're just going to click. I feel that way with Kirby. I feel like I've known her forever. And as we're talking, you know, I ask a lot of questions. Well, one of the things that got me so excited was she's been on the stage at Inman. To get on the stage at Inman is pretty cool. And you manifested that, Kirby. So,
I did.
Yeah, why don't you give us a little background about yourself, because you've got a great resume, and then go right into how you manifested being on stage at Inman. That's the bomb.
Well, thank you so much. A little bit about me, and I'll share a little bit more as we start to talk about your personal brand. But I'm with Agent Image, and before that, I have a long career in the corporate world, in the corporate restaurant world, opening restaurants and managing the people team and the learning and development team. So earned my stripes. Any of you have been in the restaurant industry. I live in LA. I have two beautiful little kids. Most days their attitudes are beautiful, just like their outsides, but they're 10 and 12. So we have our challenges. And I'm really, one of the things that I love the most about what I do is, websites are one thing, digital image is one thing, but really realtors are entrepreneurs. And for people to be able to invest in themselves and their personal brand and realize that it's more than just having IDX or just having a bio or just facts and figures is something I really love. In fact, I was on a meeting yesterday, and this super successful guy, and he's talking, well, I do this and I do luxury and I do this, and we're planning out his website and his brand. And I was like, this is all great, but like there's no you on this site. Like, what drives you? Are you part of any philanthropic? Are you a dad? Are you like, what about you personally? Like, who even are you? I don't know. This could be anyone. So that's one of my big passions. Being on stage at Inman was really, really fun. And it was, centered around being on a panel about how things are changing right now when it comes to how people market themselves. How did I manifest that? I think that I've always been about the people that I work with, and I think that I started to collaborate, and people started to share what the collaboration process was like. And I would say I got lucky, but I think that I like meeting you, Peggy. I have this like good egg, bad egg gut thing in my stomach, and I know how to surround myself with the right people. And that hasn't always been a gift. That definitely was a skill that was honed. But because of that, I've had a lot of champions who've really supported me.
That's exciting. And I love that because your energy is so welcoming. You don't go in for the hard sell. A lot of times when you go to events, they want to keep you at that booth and they want to try and sell you something. They want you to, walk away with a commitment. And it's really frustrating. And I have a hard time when I go to the vendor booths at a lot of the events over the years, because you kind of feel guilty and you kind of feel pressured. What I connected with you, Kirby, right away was you didn't know if I had a website or not. You knew I wasn't a client from my name and I was asking questions. I came up to thank you for being one of our major sponsors at the rally, and you wanted to know about me. You really cared and asked me a lot of questions about me. And when I was standing in front of you, I was the most important person right there. And quite honestly, I don't think I've ever had that at a vendor room type of thing, sponsorship before. And that's what it's all about. We talk about where we're going in today's market. It's all about relationships. We don't want the hard sell. We don't want to vomit, as I say, EXP all over everybody. We want to find out about people. And when people want to find out about us, we want them to know exactly what we do. And we need to brag about ourselves, guys. It's okay to brag about ourselves. So we've got a great small group today. People will be jumping on, I'm sure. But Kirby, let's really talk about where we are today. It is a different market. It's changed. I say COVID changed everything. I really hate going back to that, but there are events in history that change things. And the agents now had to show up differently, especially when we weren't meeting with people face to face. And I think that's one of the blessings that came out of it, is because we've all learned we got our game on. And when that happened with COVID, and then last year, when NAR came out with the ruling, well, I should say the DOJ came out with the ruling that we had to show up and really prove our value. We had to get people to work with us. It wasn't just, hey, I'm the best anymore. There had to be something else to substantiate that. So just jump in about marketing, what you're seeing, and you travel, you talk to agents all around the country. So this is you.
I do, and thank you so much. I could talk about all those things, but instead I'd like to share a personal story, if that's okay.
Okay, please.
I am selling my house and am in escrow on another house. And this is coming out of a marital separation and not out of duress, but really about me wanting to start fresh. This is my home and I had made this decision, and how I picked a realtor is a fun story because I know a lot of realtors, particularly I live in some small suburbs of LA by the beach, and it's a very tight-knit community. And I was involved in a transaction about 2 years ago, and I picked those agents because they were door knocking, and one was a mom who had gone back to work, and I just really liked them, and I thought their story was cool. They did not, the transaction did not go well. The listing agent on the other side of the transaction ran circles around them. But anyway, so fast forward to recently, I was at yoga and I put my yoga mat down and I get a little tap on the leg, and it's the listing agent from the other side of the old transaction. And she said, Kirby, hi, Lauren. I don't know if you remember me. I was like, yes, Lauren, I remember you. You are, yeah, I remember you. You haunt my dreams sometimes. And she was so kind. And she said, how are you? How is Josh? How are the kids? I wasn't even her client. She remembered all these things about me. And I said to her, actually, I'm getting divorced. And she was one of the first people where it just kind of came out of my mouth. And she said, I run this divorced women's group on Tuesdays at the church. Please come. She was so warm. She was so welcoming. It had nothing to do with business. That 6 months later, when I decided to list my house, there was not a thought in my mind of who else I was going to work with. Facts and figures, sure. The guy I worked with, to purchase this house was a shark. Facts and figures he had all day. But he did not make me feel like I would be taken care of and nurtured. And that, I think, is what people want more and more. And what I know about some of the trends now, to kind of bring it back, is a lot of how we marketed ourselves as realtors was, look at me, look what I can do, look what I can do for you. And I think that now it's about, what can I do for you? Let me show you what I can do for you. And
Mhm.
so I think that the paradigm is shifting in a pretty big way to not have these big shiny realtors with all of the, it's not the them show, it's the you show as a client.
Sure. I love that. And again, did I hear the story right? She wasn't your
She
top,
was not, well, she was not my realtor the first time around. She ran
right?
circles around these two women. And then I hadn't even thought I was going to sell the house at the beginning of my separation, but I just saw her in the community, and she was kind, and she remembered me, and she was warm. And I know she's smart. I mean, there's a minimum barrier there of someone who, where facts and figures matter a little bit. But once you're there, it's really about connection.
Absolutely. And I want to ask you, how long have you been in your home?
Well, it's a doozy of a story, but I've been here since 2019, April of 2019. So,
How many times has your other realtor contacted you? The one that you bought the house with?
oh, none. No closing gift, no nothing. Like, no, none.
Wow.
Mhm.
So this is kind of interesting, and I know we're a little bit off topic right now, but it really falls into marketing. I would always coach my agents to adopt the other side. You have a buyer broker agreement. Guys, I've been using buyer broker agreement forever, way back in the 90s when I was actively listing and selling homes. But one of the things that I felt that was so important, exactly what Kirby is saying, so many times the agent who is your agent represented you, went through hell and back to get you to that closing, they forget about you. And that's a statistic, that's a proven statistic. So if you are the listing agent or whatever side you're on, think about that other agent is going to forget about that client. So why don't you reach out to them? Why don't you talk to them? Now, that agent didn't do that, but she remembered every thing about you. And I'm sure, I'm gonna guess that the listing agent at the time, did she know that, she was running circles around your age? She doesn't know what your relationship was. She doesn't know if you're still
No,
in contact or if that,
no.
good friend, whatever.
You know what, Peggy? It's exactly what you said. She was not selling herself. There was no pressure. She wasn't selling. She didn't even know. I didn't even know when she saw me that I would have a transaction 6 months later, and actually two, right? Selling my home, purchasing another home. So I think that that's another really important point, is that as you're out in the community, every single person in your community is a potential, lead source, potential client, potential connection. Let's use that word because that one feels better and really truly is what's at the core of this business model.
And
Kirby,
hold on just one second, Tucker, because I'm getting old. I'll forget this thought, and I might have already. She came at you with caring and giving that had nothing to do with real estate. And that's what I think this is all about, guys, is stop asking, do you know anybody who wants to buy or sell? That script is gone.
completely
That
agree.
whole script is gone. That's why my whole mantra now on coaching is burn the scripts, rewrite your story. And this is a perfect example of it. So Tucker, go ahead.
I agree. I think the most important thing is to be yourself. Kirby, but specifically in your previous transaction, did you expect a closing gift?
No, but I expected some sort of
Acknowledgement.
being, I mean, look, this guy, he's a shark, and I knew what I was getting. I never wanted to have a beer with him, and I think that as the market shifts, our needs for, advocates and different partnerships. And right now, I really only want to work with people who with whom I would want to connect personally. It doesn't have to mean we all have to be best friends, but I think that he's very good at what he does, but he wasn't someone that I would feel. I guess this is it, Tucker. He wasn't someone that during a transaction, if I were having a really tough day as a mom or at work, that I would feel like I could say, look, man, we're just way too overwhelming for me right now. I didn't have that personal connection. And therefore, it was a little bit, I was kind of limited on how I could even show up as myself during these transactions. And as you know, like real estate's, it's a business transaction, but it's very emotional. And I had sort of seen it as just a purely business transaction. I think a lot of other people had too. And I think realtors had too, because there wasn't a lot you had to do 5 years ago to really market and brand yourself, right? You could basically get a listing, throw a sign up, and it was much easier. I don't mean to devalue anything that you all do. It's just the market certainly has evolved over the last 5 years. But I think that my needs have evolved. I think that clients' needs have evolved. And so my expectations now are different than they were 5 years ago.
And that leads me to my second question, and that is, do you know what neighborhood you want to go to, a specific home? Can you
Yep.
share with your new agent what type of environment you want?
Oh yeah, no, I mean I came to her with properties locked and loaded. Here's what I want to see. I was kind of debating between two. She said, "Let's go back and let's go see them right one after another. Let's arrange for that." She's been amazing, and I think she understands that this is an emotional decision. This is something I'm moving on with my kids, and it's a big decision, and the kids have been a part of it, which I don't even know that I would have been comfortable bringing them on home tours with my prior realtor, because he was very business. I need my kids to be part of the decision-making process. And it's a little bit of pardon my language, it's a little bit of a shit show when I go look at a listing. But I need to know that it's a home that my family can be comfortable in.
I
Part
love.
of your decision was that you wanted to start fresh, you wanted a new environment.
That is a big part of it, yes.
Okay. And, You know, it's interesting. I do mostly commercial real estate. I've gravitated to the luxury residential side with my team, but I always, it seems like 90+% of my transactions, and there have been thousands of them, have been organic,
Mm-hmm.
meaning that I know what's good, what might go well in a particular area, and I know my clients, so I can say, hey, Billy, you need to go here. Oh my gosh, I didn't even think about that. And the that gets back to your agent and you trusting your agent when you know what your client wants, you can be a better service to them. Period.
Absolutely. And I think one of the main kind of bridges to tie it all together is in order to know what they need, you have to actually ask and listen.
Right.
Perfect. Perfect. Kirby's got a lot to share. And, you know, I love that Kirby's not a real estate agent because she just gave us some real factual insight as a consumer, as a client on the other side. All of our speakers typically are realtors, and this was just such a real time, scenario of what's happening. So thank you. So let's jump into marketing.
Yes. Okay, so I am, rather than really do this like masterclass on like marketing and websites and all the things, what I'd really like to do is share about your personal brand and give you some really cool like value adds here that you can take, some nuggets that you can take away with some action items that you can take away today. Does that sound fair?
Yes, we'd love
Cool.
that.
Cool. So just a little bit about Agent Image. We've done 27,000 real estate websites. We've been in the business 26 years, so we're a couple months younger than Google. Just to throw some facts and figures at you, even though I was like, don't use facts and figures. Some of them are important. A little bit about me. There's me on stage at Inman, part of the Tom Ferry ecosystem. I am a mega nerd alert SEO fanatic, and I'm really mostly passionate about people just knowing a little bit more, because I think that there are a lot of terms that are thrown out there in the real estate game in general, particularly as I go to events and I hear these other vendors, and I want to make sure that people understand what we're even talking about sometimes. So I really love educating around that. Here's a little bit about my personal life. That's me with my tequila, my first love, my mommy juice. My son Flynn is 12. He's a big Kings fan. And that's my daughter Everly. She is 10 going on 21, and really, really challenging me on a personal level on a daily basis. Okay, let's talk about your personal brand. Real talk, who you are in business is who you are in life, and vice versa, right? So it's really important to be authentic, and we'll talk a little bit more about that. So what is your personal brand? I think a lot of people think it's just like a color and logos. Oh, my brand, here's my logo. This is my brand guide. It's really, when we think about your personal brand and how, we're going to figure it out and then leverage it, it's really the intentional practice of shaping how others perceive you. And this is online and offline. This is, not just about a website. This is about your brand in general. It's about showcasing your values, your expertise, your personality, and your unique value. And that's really a little bit about what we, kind of already started talking about. It's about who you are, what you stand for, and what people remember about you when you're not in the room. So it's so much more than a logo and color palette. It's your reputation, your voice, and your vibe. And I think those are really important things to think about, because I think sometimes it's easy to not want to put yourself out there because you don't want to alienate anyone. You don't want someone to have a bad reaction. I would challenge that and say, if someone's not going to like something that's a core value to you online, are you going to, is that your target audience? Is that someone that you're going to work well with in real life? Just a thought.
Hmm.
why it matters now more than ever, and this gets into a little bit what we were just talking about, Tucker, but it's not, people do not just buy goods and services anymore. They want to work with people. And there's a couple reasons why, especially now, the market is super noisy, right? There's millions of creators, experts. Your personal brand, again, this is your filter, and it helps people know, like, and trust you. And again, I would challenge you, if you're nervous to put your filter out there, are you making smart decisions about how to brand yourself so that you're getting your people? And right now people crave authenticity. Audiences with AI becoming more and more, people crave real people. They crave real humans, not polished companies. And so a good personal brand is about an emotional connection, not just being visible. And then, scary but true, you are Googleable. If you haven't Googled yourself recently, do it. If you want to do it with some emotional support, text me, call me. I will do it with you. But I challenge you, and you guys, I do this all the time on a daily basis. People go, yeah, I Google myself, but you have to Google Kirby, Lottman, Realtor, Manhattan Beach, EXP in order to get my Google business profile page. And I'm like, hold on, what would a referral Google you? How would a referral Google you? And so if you are willing to kind of do this exercise on your own, think about how a referral, just based on knowing your name, would search for you and see what comes up. Your personal brand helps you control the narrative before someone else does, and your website enters the room before you do quite often. Opportunities follow visibility, so visibility is somewhat important, but your personal brand is about the bridge. And then trust is currency. Again, now more than ever, there's so much noise out there. There's so much AI that people want to do business with people they trust. And your personal trust is built through consistency, clarity, and the word of the day, connection.
Great.
Couple pillars, and Peggy, it's funny when we meet on Friday, this is kind of what I want to start working with you on, is that I think there are 4 really important pillars to building your personal brand in person and online. They need, your personal brand needs to be consistent, intentional, authentic, and local. So intentional, I love this. Nothing accidental becomes iconic. So, it's about defining your core and your values. It's about clarifying your audience and your niche, setting branding goals, being really strategic with not just what you're saying, not just how you're saying, but where you're saying it. So be strategic about your platform choices, your content. And again, remember, it's not about being polished. It's about showing up as being authentic, being yourself. So I would say, don't wait to have it perfect, just start. And then, yeah, defining your identity with some colors you like, with some vibes you like. So in terms of being intentional, I wrote a couple of little homework fun things for you. Have any of you done a little exercise where you define what your avatar is?
No, I haven't.
Okay.
I've heard about it, but I haven't done it.
So I love this. I think it's super fun. Again, if you want to do it with an emotional support friend, feel free to do that. I will do it with you. But this is about really doing some thought and defining who your ideal client is. And it's not just, oh, they're, relocating and this is their budget and it's probably a family. I mean, where do they shop? What do they eat? What do they like? What do they do on the weekends? The more clear you get, because sometimes it's hard to look at yourself, right? So don't look at yourself, look at your ideal client, look at your success stories and go, who are those people? Because it will allow you to reflect more intensely on yourself. So I invite you, think about your ideal buyer, your ideal seller, and really dig deep on who are they? Are they parents? Where do they shop? What are their values? Do they go to church? Do they have dogs? All of those pieces. Does that make sense? Any questions about that?
That's great.
Okay. And then write your brand statement. It can be really easy. This is my message. This is my vision. These are my values. So creating and crafting your message. Now I do love websites here. So I do want to show you a couple. I love Sid Greer. I'm obsessed with her. I don't know if I want her to be like my mom or my best friend, or if I want to be her when I grow up, but this is someone I think does a really good job about being intentional. She's not all over Instagram. She's not doing a million reels. She's in her 70s. She sells $35 million vineyards. And that's her. She's just very fabulous. It wouldn't make sense for her to have this big flashy website. It doesn't make sense for her to have Ferraris flying all over the place. That's not who she is. That's not her market. She knows who her avatar is, and it's a very simple, quiet luxury, but it's still, this site has a ton of content, and at the same time, if you look at the homepage, it's really, really simple because it's easy to use and it just has like this cool laid back Napa vibe.
Wow.
Isn't that fun?
Yeah.
Okay. Second pillar, consistent. This is repetition builds recognition. And remember, this is also how you build trust. So being consistent in voice, visuals, and across all platforms. It's funny, I met a realtor recently at Compass, and she does these Instagram singing videos. She dresses up as all different things, David Bowie, Miley Cyrus, and she has a beautiful voice, and she rewrites the words to these songs to be about real estate. But if you look her up online, and you don't see her Instagram, it's the most boring whitewash, like it has no personality. And so making sure that you're consistent across all your platforms, because people are not going to necessarily do the work to look at all the platforms and go, is this the same person? Because I will tell you, if I did not know that was the same person, I would have no idea. And so I think that marrying this really cool, fun, unique thing that she does and leveraging her talents with her professionalism, with the facts and figures that do support is really important. So making sure you're consistent, clarify your audience and niche, and really making sure that online and offline you're showing up in the right way. Use a content calendar or rhythm, and then build trust by showing up regularly and reliably. So I have a little hack for you. First, audit your platforms. Take a look. If someone found you on Instagram, on Facebook, on Realtor, on Redfin, on Zillow, on your website, on your brokerage site, would it be the same? And then making sure to align online and offline. So show up in your community in a way that's really consistent to, your personal mission, vision, and values. And then create a weekly strategy. My little hack for this for you is, once you have your avatar, use ChatGPT. It's so funny. I was with an agent yesterday. She was like, ChatGPT is my best friend. I call her Chatty. But put all that into ChatGPT. Go say, I'm a realtor. Here's who I market to. Here's some of my success. Write me a 30-day social media calendar, and then take it and adjust it. But I'm telling you, if you take that piece off, and then, you can even say, you create the hashtags for this. So use it as a tool to help get you organized. Don't use it to replace your voice. It's really important that you talk like you, but use it as a tool. Any questions about that?
I love the fact that it can write hashtags for you, because I never, ever know what hashtags to put in.
Me too. I love that too. I never know either, and it always comes up with good ones. So here are some sites that I think are really good at being consistent. The Chernov team, and then I want to Google them. So if I Google the Chernov team, and I'll actually go to their site too. So here's their site. And very different from Sid's site, right? Lots of energy. They're a young team. They're in the Valley here in LA. They work a lot on new developments. So see how there's an energy to this site. The other thing that they're amazing about doing is they want you to go down the property rabbit hole. And I'll show you what I mean by that. They have multiple Instagram feeds. They have an amazing blog page. So their intention is about getting you to look at their properties. They work in a lot of new developments. They're very beautiful. So all of their properties have this beautiful reskin, and then all of them have similar listings at the bottom. So it's really easy. Even their blog page here has properties along the side to try and get you, to capture your attention. But the other thing I want to show you is look what happens when we Google them. Their agent image site comes up first. It's all indexed. Their Google business profile page is very consistent, right? It's a picture of their face. If you Google yourself and this is a picture of a building or trees or whatever, we need to talk. And you'll see their Google business profile page is built out very completely. We're getting the here first to their site, then their Instagram, and then their Zillow, their Yelp, their brokerage page, their YouTube. All of these have links that go to their website. And everything is consistent across all platforms. Make sense?
The interesting thing is a lot of us, and I know I've done this, I go and I look at certain websites and I say, oh, I want to look like that. But that's not who I am showing up. So in the past, we kind of mirrored people that we wanted to be, but we really weren't them. And I think that's the challenge when we meet our clients. It's like, have you ever gotten a business card and you meet this true story? I met someone and I honestly said, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. I thought I was meeting your daughter. Well, it was like her picture from 30 years ago on her business card. Put the high school photos away. We've got to pick who we are and show up that way in public, just like you're saying.
I love that. Yeah, I really love that. And I was on a panel at the Compass event, and there was this really wonderful agent, Ann Hogan Perry. She's in Hawaii, and she lives the Hawaiian life. She is one of the top Compass agents, and she said that she was asked to take a listing, do a showing immediately. And she was on her bike. She rides her bike. And she said she looked like a bumblebee. She was wearing like a yellow and black spandex thing. And she said, look, I can come do this right now, but just so you know, I'm in the middle of biking. And she showed up like her authentic self, as opposed to saying, oh, I can't do that right now, where I have to go put on a blazer. And she landed the listing. And I think that's not just this sensationalized story. That really is about showing up as you. And again, being, consistent, being intentional.
Love it.
Quick note here. I'm going to put a link in chat if you want to talk more about this. I'll put it in at the end too, but this is a way for me to capture your info so that I can follow up with you, so that we can talk more about your personal brand. We can do some of these. I can Google you with you. We can do an avatar exercise. So if you want some emotional support in that way, go ahead and fill that out, and I will make sure to connect with you after.
And again, I just want to say, when you do this doesn't mean that she's going to be haunting you to buy a website with agent image. She truly wants to give back and help agents. Very important.
Yeah, absolutely. And look, we've been around a long time. We're not the right fit for everyone. With us, you fully own your site. We're a different business model. So I just want to help. I love EXP. It's funny, when we were starting the call, I was kind of rifling through my desk because I have this handwritten note. I don't know if you can see, but it's on this like beautiful embossed stationery. And it's from a gentleman I met at EXP Con last October. And he was really excited. He purchased a site on the spot, and he and I have been collaborating on his site. And he sent me several referrals, and I said, oh, we have a great referral bonus. Like, here's he's like, I don't do it for any of that. I just know the value you bring, and I know they need you. But he sent me this card after I helped one of his friends. And what he said in the card, I'll just read it. He said, I could tell you weren't just a typical salesperson and believed in what you were selling the moment you responded to the story I shared about my mentor, who started the company called Safe Step and sold it for hundreds of millions. Side note, Safe Step was like a converting bath to shower for elderly or disabled, to be able to, so they could continue to bathe in their home. He said, your response was moving. I bet he's helped so many people, as opposed to saying anything about the dollar figures. At that moment, I knew I could trust you. Cheers to a lifelong relationship, and so much. And thank you so much for everything. I'm always happy to help with any current future endeavors you have going on. And so I think that that's a really, oh, yay. But I think it is about being authentic, right? This guy did help a lot of people. That's something I'm passionate about. So look, Daniel and I have this great relationship. He's now in Dominican Republic, in addition to New Jersey. And I'm like, Daniel, do I need to move to Dominican Republic? I see Dee Dee raising the roof over there. He's a great follow on Instagram too. He's a young EXP, young luxury, young professional, great dude. Anyway, I just shared that because look, your salespeople too. Oh, Dee Dee's in New Jersey too. I was born in New Jersey, Dee Dee. I'm a Trenton girl. Okay. Yes.
Jersey City in the house. Jersey City. Trenton
Take
is
the girl
awesome.
out of Jersey, but you can't take the Jersey out of the girl. Oh, I just got really jacked. Sorry. TD distracted me with our Jersey. Look, I have my partner's on this site and I always am dancing like that in the car. Did you see Dee Dee dancing, Vic? She's dancing like this. I think it's a New Jersey thing. I don't know. I always thought it was just a Kirby thing, but now we know.
No, I saw big stuff.
Yeah, I don't know. It's something genetic in us, I guess. When we're born, maybe they teach us that in the hospital, Dee Dee. Yeah, I think so.
It's in the water.
It's in the water. It's in the water. We had good bagels and good dancing. Okay. So facts and figures, yes, can be important, but really it's about not tell and attack, but share and attract. And that's going to be the best way to build your business. It's going to feel the best and it's going to have the best yield. Okay. This is something that I cannot stress enough. Be authentic. People connect with real, not perfect. So I'm going to say it again. People connect with real, not perfect. So please share your story, your why, your roots, your challenges. Be transparent about what you stand for and what you don't. We don't need to create arguments out there, but it's okay for you to share who you genuinely are. Let your personality and quirks shine. These build relatability. Talk like you, use language that you would use. Don't let chatty be you. Let it help guide you. Use it as a tool. And don't just sell, serve, and build connection. So here are some, yeah.
I have a question on this because this has come up a lot lately with the political climate and religion. How much of that should you be putting out there? I have my own opinion on it. I'm just throwing it out there. What's,
I would turn that on you, Peggy, is what do you like to see around the people you connect with the most? There are people I love very much who put very polarizing things online. And I'm like, I don't want to really connect with that person right now. So this is, we could talk all day about data and strategies, but I would look in the mirror and go, what do I like? What turns me off?
I agree.
I agree.
Yeah. I agree totally with that. You need to be yourself.
I think you need to be yourself. And again, in the political climate, and this political climate, guys, has been going back as long as I've been voting. When I would take a listing, I always said, if your house is for sale, please, please, please don't put any political parties on your front lawn.
I agree with that.
You never know what side someone's on.
That's just being authentically you and professional. It has nothing to do with your political leanings or whether you're liberal or conservative. You're just being realistic.
So when you are building your brand, you could be very polarizing. I have unfriended people because of stuff that they've put on Facebook. I just don't want to be associated. I don't want them to be in my friends. That's my choice. But I want to know from a professional stance, how are you counseling your clients on this?
This is one of my favorite takeaway exercises. It's called Red Rules, Blue Rules. It's from an old leadership development book. Think about all of your business sensibilities, your mission, vision, and values, Write down all the things you like, all the things you don't like. Your red rules are the things that you will never compromise on. It's the apocalypse in you're at a listing appointment. It doesn't matter. You're never going to stray. This should be a pretty small group of things, right? Definitely less than 10. And then your blue rules, those are the things where, hey, these are my guidelines, but oh, if it were this situation, I could see bending on that. If it were this situation, I could see bending on that, and use that as your filter. Look, the reality is, don't be polarizing. And at the same time, if your personality is such that you can't work well with someone who has a different set of beliefs than you, then maybe be polarizing. People are going to unfriend you, but the people who stick with you, that's your circle. Now, to your point, Tucker, there's a difference between being polarizing and being disrespectful. And I think as long as you're professional and respectful, and you don't put others down for their opinions. But I think that, Peggy, it's not necessarily about say this, don't say this. It's about what are your red rules, and then don't ever compromise on
Love this. I reading almost every business book. I thought that was out there. I did not know about red rules and blue rules. This is a huge takeaway from me.
I'm so glad. And I invite you, Peggy, to do it before Friday so that we can really come and know, where we can make some moves and where we can't. And I think this is what helps to really filter, because the reality is, let's say you do put something polarizing out there. Let's say you've made a really intentional choice. You've done your red rule, blue rules, you know who your avatar is, and you put something out there and someone, reacts poorly to it. Or reacts really well to it. It's about strengthening the connections that are going to yield business anyway. So, we wouldn't want someone inquiring on your site. We don't want to market to someone who isn't going to connect with you once they're in the room with you personally. So you've got to think about your time as your most valuable resource. And if you're having less conversations, but they're more quality and they're with your people, your tribe, that's going to be better for your business than having the most conversations possible. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. And with me traveling and me visiting so many people, I literally can walk into one friend's house. They've got CNN on 24/7. I walk into another friend's house. They have Fox on 24/7. I walk into someone else's house. They never have the news on. They've got the Golf Channel on 24/7. I don't get into that. I believe that everybody has to have what they believe in, and that's part of me being authentic. I have friends that say to me, "Oh my God, how can you go to someone who's so, to the far right or to the far left?" I want to be authentic and be myself with everyone, and I think that's what I want people to come across. I want to work with you because of you. I want to build a relationship. I'm not going to say, "Oh, I'm not going to work with you because you support this
course, yeah,
party or this religion or that religion." So that's really, really important to me. And I want to work with people and be involved with people who also come from that. I don't want to be in that discriminatory pool, so to speak.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, look, my mom and her husband, my stepdad, have been married 25 years. He waited till he was 57 to get married. She is very liberal. He is very conservative. He's a Republican. He's a Vietnam vet. He's very involved in a lot of organizations. And they work really well together because they're respectful. And so, look, you think about if you were in a relationship, in a friendship, whatever, it's the same thing with your clients. It's about connecting in a way that makes sense and is mutually respectful. And at the same time, they can have some conversations that where they don't see eye to eye, but they both have a kindness and a care and concern for each other.
Yeah. And that's how I think we should all show up. I think we have an obligation. It's kind of like fair housing. I think it's fair political as well. You have to be totally non-biased on what you're doing. And that's what I think, my opinion, that's what I think you should be putting out there to the public. But
yeah, and look, share stories, share your story. You sharing a story without making these big sweeping remarks, that's going to help reinforce your brand. And you never apologize for that, right?
Right.
Sharing your story of this was my experience, this was how it shaped me versus this is what I believe. Those are two very different things.
Perfect. And I think that's a great point for everyone to take a note of here. Love this.
Yeah. I'll show you a couple sites. I know we're a little bit short on time, but people who I think are very authentic
Oh,
themselves.
look at this.
Isn't
Wow.
she cute? So this is Texas Tiff, and I just love that she is unapologetically her. Even her chat says, "Hey friend, have a question? Text me here." I love her tagline. Sometimes you need an agent who's just a little extra. Look at the font, look at the colors. Yes, I said it's not about fonts and colors, but they do reinforce that it's bright, it's fun. She's
Mhm.
young. She gives you these great guides. Those are really great ways to capture leads and give value. Here are the areas in which she's an expert, her social media links, and then her social media here, you can really see who she is and how she shows up in her community. See how, look, there you
That's amazing. Right.
no makeup, and then here she is. She's at professional events, 80% personal, 20% business. That's the magic number. 80% personal, 20% business. See, there's a listing, right? And it's
Yeah.
her professional, but the rest is her with her family, her I'm not always a train wreck. Just kidding. Toot toot.
I love that.
She's willing to show up as authentic. And then she's got these great videos where she really positions herself as an expert. She's all about her brand, Texas Tiff. And I just think I love her that in her client reviews, she has her with her clients. I think that's really fun. And then a ton of Google reviews. Okay, so that's Texas Tiff. I also, and then on the other side of the spectrum, Neil Norman, who is just this like silver fox. He's on Kauai, totally different. He's such a vibe. He's all about like the, look at this, even his headshot.
Oh my God.
I know. He's in a t-shirt. His vibe is so different from Texas Tiff. His sold properties, they're all in the luxury space. He's got this beautiful featured video of Kauai on the homepage, has a great blog. And then I love that he has give back and philanthropy on his homepage. So,
Okay, that's great. That's another great tip, guys. Love that.
please wear your heart on your sleeve, guys. Put what matters to you, put it out there. And that's the type of thing where it's about sharing your story, right? So his homepage, you look at the Chernoff team that I showed you or Sid, he does have this island elegance. But I love that he just loves the natural beauty of the island so much to the point that he puts his money where his mouth is when it comes to giving back.
And are we telling people that we give back? It doesn't have to just be on a website there. Do you give back part of your commission to a certain charity? I think that's huge too.
It absolutely is. You're so right. And drop it off in person. Get a big check printed. We just did that. Get a big check printed. Go drop it off. Have fun with it.
Cool.
Okay.
Kirby,
Last, and I know sorry. Did someone have something?
I didn't mean to interrupt you.
You're good.
Oh, I was going to ask you, we worked with, what you call that, with our website. Do you incorporate our thing and promote the image from there, or?
The image
With
from
KV
where?
Core, I mean. Mhm.
Oh, yes. Great question. Yeah. So what we do, we actually build on WordPress without any proprietary technology. We're the only ones with whom that's the case. We don't have a dedicated CRM. So we integrate with all the EXP back office systems. We build that for you absolutely completely. So you can still use all your KV Core, or if you have any other CRM, like you're using Follow Up Boss or anything like that, yes, we build that integration for you.
Thank
Great
you.
questions.
Yeah. Okay, last pillar, and I know we're short on time, so forgive me, but I love this saying, brand where your boots are. Grass is greenest where you water it. Be local. Highlight local businesses. Hyper local content. Join and support local organizations. Local. No one else, no Redfin Realtor Zillow is ever going to be the local expert. And this is how, rather than saying, I know everyone in the community, I know this, I know that house, I know this house, go show up at your favorite local coffee shop, have a meeting there, post them on Instagram, highlight them, post it on your website, highlight local businesses, because guess what? Those people could be buyers or sellers too. But mostly it's about branding yourself as the local expert. And this is something that no one can take away from you. No amount of technology is going to be able to replace this. I love this site. She's so good. Julie Fitzqueen. This is Welcome to My Hometown. Now, yes, she has incredible facts and figures. She was the #1 Remax agent in 2021. She's the #1 Remax agent in Georgia. She's got tons of, professional certifications and awards. But this is really about her hometown. She has this really cool custom clickable map that pulls up a bunch of local information. On her homepage, she has Experience Blue Ridge. So really all about what you can do in this area and why people move there. And then even if I go to one of her communities, rather than just listing, these are the homes for sale, look at what she does. And you can see from a branding perspective, yes, fonts and colors, those definitely support her hometown feel. But she has all of this cool information, schools, a commute calculator, a bunch of information on, what to do in that area, all the local restaurants. This is actually a Yelp integration.
Wow.
Yeah, isn't that fun? And then home sales stats. This is all pulled from the MLS with all the sold listings. And it doesn't even have to be this this serious. I wanna show you someone else who does this, and she does it in a really cool, easy way that I invite you to cherry pick, borrow, steal from her. And I'm gonna show you what she does. Santa Fe Kathy. SantaFeKathy.com. And what she does is she has, yes, your traditional real estate site. I like a lot about her. I love her photos. I love her visuals. I love her branding. Look at this. Isn't she so cute on the back of the train? But then she has Kathy's Culinary Corner, and she built a restaurant guide for Santa Fe. And these are the places she loves to eat. It's just an easy little flip book. It just has a bunch of information. How long do you think it took her to put this together? Maybe a day max, couple hours max, but it's so cool. And again, it's positioning her as the local expert. So I want to make sure that I am dropping this link again. If you'd love to chat more, please, for Peggy and anyone Peggy tells me is part of the Peggy crew, you get really, Peggy, we're going to extend the same incentives and discounts. In order for me to know to do that, I need you to use the link that I dropped in chat. That's how I'll track, that's how I'll attribute this to Peggy and make sure that we're able, because we give you guys like absolutely the friends and family pricing. We can do payment structures. Yeah, I mean, we're really flexible with this. And so, if this is something you want to chat more about, and again, no pressure. You don't have to be like, oh, I need a website or I don't need a website, so I'm not going to call. You want to talk about your personal brand. If you can't tell by now, that's what I love to do. Super passionate about it. I think this is so fun. And I think it does help your business. And I think that when you can really see the value of that, it's fun. So I invite you, get clear, what do you want to be known for? And then let me throw my contact info up here. I know I put it in chat, but okay, let me see. Here we go. I got out of my presenting mode. Just get really clear about what you want to be known for. And I gave you some tools to do that. Here's how to find
that. That's what I want people to see is we've got to show up as our authentic selves, guys. And that's why I wanted Kirby on. I have people all the time wanting to come on Wake Up Wednesday and sell things to you. I wanted you to see that there are people out there that are just willing to help. And that's how we need to show up. This is a year of helping. Thank you, Kirby. Does anybody have questions? I don't know if you've got a hard stop, Kirby.
I don't, but I just want to be respectful to make sure.
Thanks. Does anybody have any questions? Because I know we covered a lot here and there was a lot of talking, but again, Peggy, who's in the other room in the kitchen, the other house with me. Whoops,
unmute yourself, Peggy.
It comes up a little bit differently when you have a host thing, so I didn't click the right one. Sorry about that. Kirby, I have a question for you. I'm in Florida, you're in California. If I want to hire a videographer Do you help us walk through that piece?
I do. I have I mean, look, we don't have a videographer. That's not what we do. I personally like to build my tribe. That's part of what I love to do is connect people. And it's funny, the person I'm going to recommend to you, Peggy actually uses personally as well. There's a company called Blended Sense. They're all over the country and I think they do the best work. I've used them personally. They are the ones who came to Inman with me, came to Compass with me. They built beautiful videos. An event in Florida I did. So we will help build you the best, like kind of a team of people. You know, you need someone for social. Like I've built those relationships because I know what typically people need. And I'm always looking to build new relationships with people who are standouts. So I know that was a long answer. The short answer is Agent Image doesn't have a video service, but as the senior brand strategist and as the person who will personally, by the way, if you make sure you click that link, I will personally work with every single one of you. Anyone Peggy sends to me, I'm going to personally work with, that we are committed to making sure that you have everything you need for your digital presence and being that resource for you.
I have one more quick question, and I could be dating myself, but I know there was a time when the the type of video that you used in the platform there was a loading time when they went into that website. How do you circumvent that now? Because every single website you went into loaded immediately, the videos came up quickly. How do you do that now?
Yeah, so a little bit of a nerd alert. I'm going to get technical for a second, but we build on an open source platform. So we don't have a bunch of proprietary technology that's getting in the way. We also add some things to our site like Cloudflare and Varnish Web Accelerator. Those are things that make the site run fast and smooth. We also are really meticulous about how we build.
Okay, the sites are beautiful.
Because site speed is important. People make 1,000 decisions about you within about 7 seconds of getting to your website. And if your site's not loading, guess what? Are they going to trust you to market their home?
No.
Probably not. So we need to make sure that there's nothing ever that's going to get in the way or be a source of friction between you and your clients. That's our job.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Great questions. Dee Dee, you have your hand up.
Yes. Yes, thank you. Good morning. Kirby, thank you for being here. 2 questions. Did you build out all those websites you showed us?
All of those are
That's your
agent
work?
image sites. Yep.
Oh, wonderful.
I am not the tippy type building person. I like to do this stuff. I like to be on branding. We have a team of 350 designers, developers, the best in the business. And I will be with you every step of the way, but I am not the person who's tippy type coding. That would drive me up a wall.
Okay,
Yes,
good to
all
know.
of those are agent image sites.
Thank you. And for the hyper local, I love my town of Jersey City, but I want to serve Hudson County. So do you recommend agents just focus on their immediate area because we know all the businesses, we know the organizations, or going out and spread out to the county? Would that be wiser because it's more business, but I don't know as much.
To being intentional, Dee Dee. What's your goal? What's your goal and objective? If you really want to do business in Hudson Valley, go be a local expert in Hudson Valley too. But if you're just doing it just to grow your business without like your mission being super clear, don't do it. Again, brand where your boots are, but that doesn't mean you're limited to where you're at. If you have this goal of getting and being the top realtor in the Hudson Valley, then go be there. But let's do it in an intentional way. And certainly there's some marketing levers we can help pull and stuff like that. There's some stuff we can do behind the scenes.
Because that's really spreading the marketing and all that stuff, but it's great to just stay local, at least to start. Thank you so much. I appreciate this.
My pleasure. And sorry, Dee Dee, one more thing. Staying local doesn't just mean don't go out of your zip code or don't go out. It means find local businesses in Hudson Valley that resonate with your mission, vision, and values. Go have lunch, post about it, have a meeting about Hudson Valley, meet with another realtor, post about it, share your story. And those are the things that are going to help you become local there. So local isn't about pigeonholing you. It's about how you're connecting with the community and being a citizen there. Does that make sense?
Perfect. Yes, that makes a lot of sense. Thank you.
So you can go out of your zip code, is what you're saying.
Yes, but do it in an authentic and intentional way. Yeah.
Great questions. I need to acknowledge the people on this call and Evelyn is there as well. She's our local California, but licensed everywhere mortgage person. So we've got Kirby, we've got Annie, and we've got Evelyn. Anybody else on the West Coast that gets up at 6 a.m. to do this? I mean, thank you guys.
Me.
Ah, Watson, that's right.
Still on my pajama.
Good for you, because when I'm on the West Coast, I'm up at 4:30 in the morning getting ready for this.
Thank
But
you for that.
I think that this was really amazing, and I appreciate. I want to share good people, guys. I hope that you walked away with some amazing tips. Your 4 pillars: so intentional, consistent, authentic, and local. Good, I took good notes. This is so important. I just adore you, Kirby. Thank you so
I
much.
adore you. Hugs to everyone. Thank you so much for having me. It was really, really fun. Worth getting up for sure.
I'm glad. And we'll set up our time. And guys, I will show you as we go along what I'm creating, because I am struggling with who my avatar is, because I want to help everybody. It is what it is, but we're getting on it. Thank you. Janet, you have any questions there? Hi, quiet today.
No, I don't have any questions. It was a great meeting, very informational.
Excellent. Thanks. Well, I'm glad you guys all took the time out of your day to do this. I appreciate you showing up for Wake Up Wednesday, and we'll see you next week.
Hi, everyone.
Thank you so
Bye.
much. Thank you, Peggy.
Thanks again, Kirby. Oh, you guys are welcome. Nice to see you, Watson. Dee Dee, thank you. Bye, guys. I hate when I leave y'all.
I know, I don't like leaving. It's so empty. Once I close out, it's like, okay, now I got to get back to work.
Well, the cool thing is I'm here with Peggy for a couple of days, so it's Peggy squared. You don't know what kind of
Oh my
trouble we're gonna-
gosh. Enjoy your time, ladies. Peggy, your top, both Peggy's, your tops are gorgeous. So I think you guys have something planned, right? You dressed up. Peggy's got the blue and Peggy's got the floral or something. I
Yeah.
love the pastels. Oh my gosh. Enjoy it. Enjoy the
We
weather and
try.
everything, guys.
All right. We'll see you
God
later,
bless. Bye-bye.
guys. Thank you.